welcome to Boomer City, USA. I'm Tony Schwartz.
And I'm Mary Lou Ambrose. Just where is Boomer City? Well, it's not a real place. It's more like a state of mind or a lifestyle for those of us in the boomer generation. Notice I left off the word baby. We're boomers. But there's still plenty of explosive energy left in us. We work hard, we play hard, and sometimes we try hard to deal with stressful life situations.
We're going to explore these topics and more here in Boomer City, USA. So anyway, it's time to do a little Boomer City, USA exploration, Mary Lou, and it was up to you to pick the location today and the topic of what we're going to check into. So where are we going in Boomer City?
Well, we thought for our first episode, we'd go to a place that really defines the boomer generation. And what better way to define our generation than our music? So we decided to go to Woodstock!
Right, Woodstock, New York.
No, Bethel, New York.
I thought we were going to the site of the 1969 Woodstock Festival.
We are, but it wasn't in Woodstock, it was in Bethel.
I knew that.
So, let's go get changed.
What do you mean changed? I thought we were going like this.
Are you crazy? I'm not going out in public with you like that. Come on, let's get changed.
It's just a short drive from where we live in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania to the mighty Delaware River, where we cross the state line at Narrowsburg, New York. From Narrowsburg, it's just a short drive, really, to the site of the Woodstock Festival. Obviously somebody's in a bigger hurry than we are to get there. We come to the entrance to Bethel Woods and turn right onto Bethel Woods Drive. Drive down to the first stop sign, make a right, and we'll come to this sign where there's a parking space where you can walk through a short garden and come up to this monument. On the plaques lists all the names of the bands that performed at Woodstock in '69. Beyond the monument, and just over that split rail fence there, you see that raised platform of dirt and stone? That's where the stage was. And then to the right, the hillside where 500,000 people camped and listened to music for 3 historic days from August 15th to the 17th, 1969. They were expecting 150,000 people and 500,000 showed up. The festival was actually called the Woodstock Music and Arts Fair, an Aquarian exposition, but I wonder where the art was. Unless they were making sculptures out of mud, because it started raining on Friday and by Sunday the field was a mudslide. But it didn't seem to dampen anyone's spirits, spectators or musicians. That's the museum at Bethel Woods, up on the hill there, built in 2008. First came the Performing Arts Center, and then the museum 2 years later. So let's go check it out. The full name of the museum is the Museum at Bethel Woods, the story of the 60s in Woodstock. And that's what you'll find there, almost 7,000 square feet of permanent displays showing life in the 60s. You'll find displays on the race to the moon and the moonwalks, the Vietnam War, JFK, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and of course Woodstock, which is the main attraction. You don't just look at pictures either, although there are over 300 of them. It's very interactive with lots of videos and movies of Woodstock. Behind the museum building is a small outdoor amphitheater called the Terrace Stage. Well, not that small, it holds about 1,000 people. And beyond that is the large amphitheater, which holds 4,500 people under the pavilion and another 10,000 plus on the lawn. This season they had Elton John, Stevie Nicks, Blood, Sweat and Tears, the Boston Pops, and lots more great entertainment. But there's so much more to see inside, so let's go check it out and meet Museum Director Wade Lawrence.
Hi, Wade. Welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure. Welcome to Bethel Woods.
Thank you. And this is about our 3rd trip here. We love it here. And we want to make sure that all the people out there know all about Bethel Woods too. So we're here right now in the event center, is that right?
Event gallery.
Event gallery, which we kind of call the round room because it's round, and obviously. And what I want to do though is talk to you a little bit about the place in general. And this is called the Museum at Bethel Woods?
That's correct.
Is that the correct name?
That's the correct name.
Not the Hippie Museum.
Not the Hippie Museum, and not the Woodstock Museum. There's actually a museum in the town of Woodstock called the Woodstock Museum. But we are at the location of the Woodstock Music and Art Fair, the 1969 Woodstock Festival, which is actually about, 70 miles southwest of the town of Woodstock? But we're the museum at Bethel Woods.
Okay, and there's kind of a subtitle, The Story of the 60s in Woodstock.
Yep.
So it's not just about Woodstock, the museum, it's about the 60s also.
Well, we started out wanting to interpret Woodstock. There's a lot of Woodstock fans out there. People make the pilgrimage to this place. They've been coming here for 42 years already, just to pay homage to the history of the place.
So they were coming for 42 years to look at a field.
That's right. There was nothing here, nobody to welcome them, and no advertising. It wasn't on any maps. They just came. And we decided, there needs to be a museum here to interpret that whole era of the 1960s, to put that Woodstock Festival into some context. It wasn't just something that just landed here in Maxie Asker's farm. It was something that was sort of a natural progression from the way society was happening. The 60s, I mean, think of it, the Beatles, Bob Dylan, hippies, drugs, the whole counterculture, anti-war movement, all of those things that was a kind of a stew of society. And in 1969, 4 guys got together a big rock festival, a 3-day rock festival here in the countryside of Sullivan County, New York. And 500,000 people showed up. I think the 60s are alive in a lot of ways. People, even the right wing, the Tea Party, that's an expression of the 60s.
Right,
that's people who are dissatisfied with their lot and standing together saying there's a different way. And again, I'm not going to say one side's right and one side's wrong. I think both sides are right for standing up for what they believe in.
And this is America, and we're allowed to
Absolutely.
have an opinion.
Bingo,
right?
bingo. And that's what the museum's about. And I say that in a way to tell people that yes, we pay homage to Woodstock and the musicians and the people who were here at Woodstock. And in a way that's paying homage to the counterculture. But it's not just for people who believe politically that side of the spectrum. It's for all people, whether they're baby boomers or 20-somethings or teenagers, to find out about an important era in our history and to draw the connections between what happened 42 years ago and what's happening today and realize, oh, there's something we can learn from that era. And have fun doing it. It was a fun period. I mean, the music, the fashion, it was how can you beat the music of the 60s?
You can't. So can we go and have a look at them?
Sure, let's do it.
Museum? So we're in the museum now, and this is the permanent exhibit, everything that's here?
That's right.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about what we're standing in front of here and what else we can see?
Yeah, we've just walked through an area that talks about the 60s, about what it was like to live in suburbia in 1960, and John F. Kennedy passing the torch to a new generation, and all of those context things. Now we're in 1967. Haight-Ashbury, psychedelic music. The way we listen to music is different. It's not singles and it's not AM radio anymore. It's albums and it's FM. It's underground radio, and DJs play whole albums and cuts that you never heard before. And music is exciting, and it's not corporate at all. It's every DJ has his own spin on things, we try to capture that in the museum. We've got a lot of color, a lot of music, a lot of things going on, and it's fun to watch people come through this part of the museum, because typically from a distance you'll see somebody doing this, and you don't hear what they're saying, but you know what they're saying is pat it, pat it, pat it. And
or heaven.
that's
in the
exactly
cellar.
right. That's exactly right. And it's another thing that's really fun in this part of the museum is to see grandparents and grandchildren. The young kids maybe listen to rap, or they listen to whatever the popular music is today. And maybe they've heard of the Beatles, maybe they've heard of Bob Dylan, but Grandpa and Grandma have those stories of what it was like to grow up in the 60s. And this is the music they listen to. And you know, a lot of this music is still on the radio, and young people are still listening to it as sort of an alternative to what they're hearing on the regular radio. And we try to draw that out of people. The best part about this museum is it starts conversations. We see a lot of interaction between people, pointing out things to one another, and it triggers stories about what they remember growing up, or musical styles or fashion styles that they like, and it brings a lot of things out of people. There's a few things that I really, really relate to in this museum. One of the things is this mannequin here, dressed in a fringed vest, embroidered jeans, and to the side there are some handmade leather sandals, leather boots. All of these items were worn at the Woodstock Festival by 3 different people that all donated these objects to the museum. The pants especially, they were embroidered by a young woman. She was in her teens. She was in the hospital recovering from hepatitis. And she embroidered these jeans, and you can see that it's all over embroidery. Top to bottom, front to back. She even had, you know, those little pockets there. She embroidered M and M on the pocket because she liked M&M candies, and that's where she kept her M&Ms. But this is one of my favorite installations because of the cool pants and the fact that this woman believed that they belonged here and donated them so that we could share them with the rest of the world.
But if you look at the other clothes in this display, these are indicative of what people wore in the 1960s. These are typical Jackie Kennedy type.
Oh yeah.
Costumes.
You've got the wool suit, and you've got the Twiggy mini dress.
Right.
You know, it brings back memories. Did you have the white go-go boots?
No, but I knew people that did. But I'm sure I had a dress like that. I'm sure I did.
I certainly had a fringed vest.
Is this place cool or what?
Oh yeah, and we have so much more to show you.
Yeah, but we're out of time.
Don't worry about it though, because the rest of our trip out to Bethel Woods Museum is in episode 2. And episode 2 is already available online. So all you have to do is go back and click on it to see the rest of the trip out there. That's it for this show. Come back and see us again right here in Boomer City, USA.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.